Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. Hope all of you are doing great. Today I will cover few problems and solutions, that is the mathematical parts of national income and related aggregates. Friends, in my last video, I have covered these formulas: depreciation, net indirect tax, NFIA, that is net factor income from abroad, and derivation of this particular formula of NNPFC. So friends, I would suggest before going to start today's session, you go through that particular session, go through these formulas, and then come to this sessions. Okay friends, so let's start few problems and solutions of this particular chapter. Okay friends, so let's start. Friends, suppose the question given is this one. Okay, all the figures are in crores. It is given GDPmp 5,500 crores, consumption of fixed capital 300 crores, goods and service tax, that is indirect tax, is given 120 crores, factory income from abroad 150 crores, subsidies are given 70 crores, factory income to abroad 250 crores, and the question is calculate NNPFC, that is national income. Okay friends? So friends, let's start the solutions. Okay? In the given question, the question is what? Calculate NNPFC. Okay? To start with this, I have shown you two methods actually. Okay? In the first method, utilizing depreciation, net indirect tax, and NFI, these three formulas, utilizing all these three formulas as I have explained in my last video. So, utilizing these three formulas, the answer is NNPFC, that is 5050 crores. Okay? And the second method, or another method is utilizing the fourth formula, NNPFC, GDPmp minus depreciation minus NIT plus NFI. So utilizing this formula, the answer is same, 5050 crores. So you can choose any of the method and you can get the solutions. Now I am going to explain you both the cases. Okay, let's start with the first case. In the first case, I have utilized three of the formulas. For depreciation, I told you what? In the last session, in the last video, I have explained you for depreciation, only thing you need to remember is what? Gross minus net. In case of net indirect tax, only thing you need to concentrate on market price minus factor cost. In case of NFI, you only need to concentrate on national minus domestic. Okay, done. Now let's start with the depreciation formula. Depreciation is gross minus net. Now in this question, search where you will get gross or net information. Where you will get gross or net information? Yeah, in the first case GDPmp is given, so take this one, GDPmp. Okay. Now, my intention is what? My intention is to formulate the depreciation formula. And gross minus net is I need to remember. It's all about I need to remember gross minus net and I have to incorporate depreciation formula. Here you search it across whether gross or net information is given. Yes, given GDPmp. So write it down GDPmp. Now what I'm doing? Just copying the same thing. GDPmp I'm putting across, and in place of G I'm writing N. Simple. I'm putting N in place of G. So it will become gross minus net. Simple thing. As I explained in the last video, other parts will remain constant. For example, in place of G I'm writing N. The other part is same. Like DPmp, here also DPmp. So you don't need to focus on the other part. Only thing you need to remember is what? Gross minus net is the depreciation. In this particular case, GDPmp is given. So to find out depreciation, you write the same thing. Only in place of G, you are writing N. So simple, it is done. GDPmp minus NDPmp equals to depreciation. Okay. In this formula, GDPmp is given 5,500 crores. So write it across 5,500 crores minus NDPmp. Obviously, we need to find out this one, NDPmp. Depreciation is what? Consumption of fixed capital. Consumption of fixed capital is given 300. So write it down. Now, NDPmp will be what? 5,500 minus 300. So it will be 5,200 crores. So NDPmp is 5,200 crores. Okay. Now, utilizing depreciation, we calculated NDPmp. Right. Now, take the help of second formula, net indirect tax. Net indirect tax, what I have said, you need to remember market price minus factor cost. Okay. So what we just calculated, NDPmp. So write it down, NDPmp. We have written NDPmp only. Okay. Now this is in market price. We need to deduct market price minus factor cost, that is a net indirect tax. Okay. So we need to utilize net indirect tax. We need to formulate this one. We are playing with the formulas. We are doing nothing. We are just playing with the formulas, and the following tricks you just follow. Okay. Now NDPmp, we just calculated NDPmp. Same thing you need to copy. Okay. Only thing what we'll do, in place of MP, you need to write FC. That is factor cost. In place of MP, you need to write FC. Just similar like in place of G you have written N for depreciation. In place of MP you write FC. That's done. Market price minus factor cost. Very simple. NDPmp minus NDPFC equals to net indirect tax. Means net indirect tax means market price minus factor cost. So in this particular case, NDPmp you have written, and just in place of MP you write it factor cost. Market price in place of market price you are writing factor cost. So we have derived the formula of net indirect tax. So NDPmp you got 5,200. Write it across. NDPFC is not given anywhere. Obviously we will get this one, NDPFC. Net indirect tax, what I have explained, net indirect tax is what? Indirect tax minus subsidies. Here indirect tax is given and subsidies also given. Indirect tax is what? Goods and service tax. Here is indirect tax. Okay. So goods and service tax 120 and minus subsidy is what? 70. So 120 minus subsidy is our net indirect tax. So net indirect tax, do remember, indirect tax minus subsidy is our net indirect tax. So 120 and 70 we have written. So in this way we can find out easily NDPFC. So NDPFC equals to rupees 5,150 crores. Okay. This is the second one. Now third one. Third one is what? We have taken into consideration depreciation formula. We have taken into consideration net indirect tax formula. Let's take the help of NFIA. Our intention is what? The question is requiring what is NNPFC. Keep in mind what we are calculating NNPFC. If the question is asking for NDPmp, the answer is this. If the question is asking for NDPFC, easily you can calculate. The answer is 5150. Additionally, suppose they are also asking to calculate NNPFC. Now, we are taking the help of NFI. We are taking the help of NFI. So NFI, what I have explained in the last video, we need to remember only national minus domestic. National minus domestic you need to remember. Okay. Now, in this particular case, we got NDP. We got NDP. D is domestic. Okay. So in this domestic, you write it across domestic over here, and NNP factor cost. NNP factor cost you need to write because it is domestic. NFI net factor income from abroad is what? Net factor income from abroad is national minus domestic. So domestic information is given. So copy this same thing you copied. In place of D you write N. It's very simple. Like in place of G you are writing N, gross minus net. In place of market price you are writing factor cost. Here also the same thing, all remain same. Only in place of national domestic you are writing national. National minus domestic you will get net factor income from abroad. So what I have written, NNPFC minus NDPFC is NFI. So easily you can calculate NNPFC. For example, likewise, like NNPFC, you write it down, NNPFC minus NDPFC 5150. You just calculate it 5150. Now net factor income from abroad, I have already explained. Net factor income from abroad is factor income from abroad minus factor income to abroad. So factor income from both are given. Factor income from abroad is given 150 minus factor income to abroad 250 is given. Okay. So NNPFC minus 5150 equals to 150 minus 250. So in this way, this will be minus 100, but you calculate directly NNPFC equals to 5050 crores. So the required answer is NNPFC equals to 5050. Okay. Now this is one approach. Let's take the help of the second method. Okay. The second method is NNPFC. The question is asking for NNPFC, right? The question is asking for NNPFC, and we have another formula of NNPFC is GDPmp minus depreciation minus NIT plus NFI. So I have calculated this one. You just copied this one and paste it in place of NNPFC. So NNPFC is GDPmp minus depreciation minus NIT plus NFI. GDPmp is given. GDPmp is what? 5,500. You write it across. Depreciation is given. Consumption of fixed capital is depreciation. So 300 is given. Net indirect tax, what I have explained, net indirect tax, that is indirect tax minus subsidy. So indirect tax is 120, subsidy is given 70. So 120 minus 70 in bracket plus NFI, net factor income from abroad. Net factor income from abroad, that is factor income from abroad minus factor income to abroad in brackets. Okay. Now factor income from abroad is 150 and factor income to abroad is 250. So in brackets. So the difference is minus 100 and this difference is minus 50. 5,500 GDPmp is already there. Depreciation 300 is already there. So you you calculate this one, NNPFC, directly you will get 5050 crores. Okay friends, so this method also you will get the same answer applying the other formulas as well. So friends, let's start another problem. This problem and solution is going to be your master problem, and I have tried to cover all the formulas in this particular questions. Okay friends, very quickly we will do this one. Okay, so the given question is GDPmp 7000 crores, net factory income from abroad, that is NFIA 200 crores, depreciation is given 150 crores, NDPFC is given 6200 crores, right? Now you need to calculate what? NDPmp, NNPmp, net indirect tax. Net indirect tax is very important. You need to calculate NIT, you need to calculate NNPFC, you need to calculate GDPmp. Okay friends, kindly note, in our three formulas, depreciation and NFI and net indirect tax, this two is given. NFI is given and depreciation is given. Net indirect tax is not given. You need to calculate net indirect tax. Okay friends, now, so let's start. Let's take the help of depreciation formula. What to be remembered for depreciation? Gross minus net. It's very simple, gross minus net. Now, take it across this one, GNPmp. Okay, so take it across GNPmp. I have taken GNPmp, we have written this one. We need to formulate the depreciation formula. So what we will do, gross minus net is our depreciation formula. In place of G, we will write N. In place of G, we are writing N and other parts are same. So GNPmp minus NNPmp equals to depreciation. Done. Now, very quickly we will do. GNPmp 7000 is given, depreciation 150 is given. So you formulate, you calculate, you will get NNPmp. So NNPmp is 6850 crores. So NNPmp is done. Number one is done. NNPmp, that is 6850 crores. Okay, now let's utilize NFI formula. NFI formula is what? National minus domestic. National minus domestic. So let's take again this GNPmp. Again copy this GNPmp. So it is in national, you need to deduct domestic from this. Okay, so national minus domestic is NFI. So copy this again. In place of N, you are writing D. Okay, in place of N, you are writing D to make it NFI. Like in place of G, you are writing N. Gross minus net is depreciation. In this particular case, national minus domestic is NFI, as I have already explained in my previous sessions. Right now, very quickly we will do GNPmp. What is GNPmp? It is given 7000. 7000 is given. NFI is also already given, that is 200 crores. Now you will calculate, you will get GDPmp. GDPmp is rupees 6800 crores. Again, GDPmp 6800 crores. So we have calculated GDPmp. Done. Now friends, let's take again the help of depreciation formula. Depreciation again, gross minus net. Now we have just calculated GDPmp, so it is in gross, right? It is in gross. So copy this again, paste it across. We are doing what? We want to formulate depreciation formula. So gross minus net is depreciation. So copy again the same thing. In place of G, you are writing N. In place of G, you are writing N. So this tricks is going to help you. Okay. G minus N, the gross minus net is depreciation. Very simple. So we have calculated GDPmp 6800, depreciation 150 is given. So easily you can calculate NDPmp. NDPmp is 6650 crores. So another answer we have calculated, that is NDPmp. NDPmp we have calculated 6650 crores. Done. Now let's take the help of again NFI formula, net factory income from abroad. Again, national minus domestic. NFI is what? National minus domestic. Okay. Now we haven't considered this one. NDPFC we haven't considered, so let's consider this one right now. So NDPFC 6200. It is in domestic. D is there, right? Now copy this, paste it across in this particular formula. To formulate this, we need to know what? National minus domestic. So copy the same thing. In place of D, you are writing N. In place of D, you are writing N to make it national minus domestic equals to NFI. Similar like gross minus net equals to depreciation. National minus domestic is NFI. So in the same formulation, we are trying to calculate this one. Only thing is what? We are considering NDPFC in this particular case and converting this domestic into national in this particular case. So NNPFC minus NDPFC equals to NFI. Right now, NDPFC is given this one. 6200 is given. Copy it across and paste it. 6400. NFI is given 200 crores. It is done. So through this you can calculate easily NNPFC. NNPFC equals to 6400 crores. Now, so NNPFC, so you got the answer, NNPFC 6400 crores. Now the main part of the question, net indirect tax, NIT. You need to calculate NIT. So this is your main master problem. So to calculate NIT, I have shown you in two methods you can do it. Okay. several methods are there, whichever is easier to you, follow that one. So we are going to calculate NIT. NIT is what? I have shown it across, and market price minus factor cost. Market price minus factor cost is your net indirect tax. So net indirect tax, let's take the example of this market price. There is in market price NDPmp, right? NDPmp is your market price. So take this one, NDPmp, I'm copying it across. So it is in market price. Formula is what? Market price minus factor cost. So again the same thing, copy the same thing. In place of MP you are writing FC. In place of MP you are writing FC. So market price minus factor cost is NIT. So you got it across NDPmp 6650. So copy this 6650. In case of NIT you need to calculate NIT. NDPFC you know, NDPFC is 6200 is given. So copy it across. So this minus this is your NIT. NIT is 450 crores. Sorry, 450 crores is your net indirect tax. So it is done. Again, or this one, or another method. Let's take the example of same thing. The same method, NIT, you need to calculate NIT, market price minus factor cost. Now let us consider this one, NNPFC. This is in factor cost. This part is in factor cost. Copy this one, paste it across. Okay, copy this one, paste it across. This is in factor cost. I need to formulate market price minus factor cost equals to NIT. So same thing you will do like the previous one. Same thing you will do. In place of FC, you are writing market price MP. So NNPMP minus NNPFC equals to NIT, net indirect tax. So NNPMP you have already considered, you have already calculated NNPFC 6850. Copy this one and paste it across. In place of NNPMP. In place of NNPFC you got this one 6400. Copy this one. You calculate, you will get NIT 450. So friends, I hope I have covered all this formula in this particular chapter, national income and related aggregates. So this is all about today's video. Hope you guys liked it. If you guys find this worthwhile and helpful, do share with your friends. If you have any queries or suggestions, then do write me in the comment sections. I will be more than happy to answer them. And friends, do write me whether my process is really helping you or not. So friends, thanks for watching. See you in the next video. Take care. Bye bye. And all the very best.